As I record, I start off with the eye boogers. But that's okay. I can edit that part out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to And the Party Games Experience. I am always, as Chazwiz, joined today with...
DeHoffren!
And unfortunately, Draconis303 is at home recuperating from COVID. So our best wishes go out to him and his family. Make sure they come for a speedy recovery. So, it's been a while, DeHoffren.
It has.
And I promise you to our... I think we're up to like 30 views now, 50 views. We are getting better at this, but that's okay. Not everyone's perfect at everything, right?
Exactly.
So,
Pobody's perfect.
So, let's start off with our year in review. I think that's where we should start off. What do you think?
I think that's great.
You're like, put me on the spot. Just let's talk about year in review. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Put me on the spot. We talked about this.
We're prepared. We know what's going on. So, let's talk about it. I wanted to talk about the games that I've been playing this year. And DeHoffren talked about he wants to play the game. He was going to talk about the games he played. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's interesting to our 30-something viewers now. Thanks, Mom, Dad, Extended Family, and a couple people we play D&D with. But I was compiling this list of games I play, and I came to the conclusion, I haven't played a lot of video games this year. I've been doing a lot of D&D, a lot of family stuff, but I really feel like I've neglected my video game passion and collection. So it was kind of disheartening. What about you?
Yeah, I was trying to think about all the games that I was doing, and it's the same. It's where's my list? What have I been doing?
Where is it? What happened? I don't know.
What happened?
So I came to the conclusion that I'm going to start creating a list of like what games I want to play and what I want to beat and stuff like that. I know Steam kind of has that, hey, here's the next game we should play based off the last one you played. And I'm really starting to get into physical copy games and building that collection for my consoles and such, which I don't mind having the digital copies for my PC and stuff like that. But it really had me thinking like, man, I'm really looking forward to these games coming up, but I haven't even played the games I've played now. Or worst case scenario, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm not even ready for the DLC that's going to be coming out, or the expansion coming out, because I haven't actually beat the game yet. What are your thoughts?
That's been my problem too. There's a bunch of games that I've had that I've wanted to play. I've even got lists prior to last year.
I got lists from the 90s and 2000s.
Early 90s. Not that bad. Pokemon Sword and Shield. I loved it when that came out. I was super down to clown for the expansion when that came out. Never got it. Never got around to it. And now all the other Pokemon games that are coming out onto the Switch, I was like, oh my god, they're coming. I'm going to do it. I haven't got it. So that's part of my list for this upcoming year is get back into my Pokemoning.
All right. Let's get started. I'll go ahead and kick it off with the games I'm playing, the games I wanted to review and kind of go over. Let's start with my top 5. So, everyone who knows me knows I love RPGs. So, my RPG list was actually pretty small this year. I didn't get a chance to play a lot of RPGs. I played some Baldur's Gate to kind of relive my love with Baldur's Gate and kind of go back to Icewind Dale. But the closest thing I had to that was I played Dark Alliance. Now, I was really excited when I saw the trailer come out in the early 2000s, in the 21s. And when I actually got the game, I love the fact that I'm running Rhyme of the Frost Maiden in a local game shop, and I got to see Icewind Dale from a first-person perspective. I got to see kind of the goblins, like from a top-down perspective. The little miniatures are tiny, little goblins. Who cares? They're goblins. You read the monster man, you're like, well, who cares about these goblins? until you start fighting them one-on-one, first-person level, you don't realize that they might not be strong, but they swarm you, and they are relentless. And the fact that Dark Alliance put money into the graphics, and the fact that the worlds were so beautiful around you, not this big, giant, open-world scenario, bear in mind, but I did love the fact what they gave you was just beautiful. And the statues, the scenery, the panoramic views, everything was gorgeous. And yes, it got a little grindy, and yes, you did have to kind of you did kind of have to, I guess you'd say, just grindy is the best way to describe it. I still found it enjoying. I love playing it. I love, like, only having to play it for an hour, then leaving and coming back, and then if I just feel like beating up some people who's had a bad day, I jumped into it. What do you think?
I like you, I love the graphics. I thought everything about it was beautiful. How they turned it out was great. I hated the controls, and I hate the fact that you could not change the controls. So every other game that I've played, the controls are totally different, and you get used to that. And having to go through and try to re-familiarize with these buttons, it's a nightmare. And then not being able to go into settings and adjust it to however you want was aggravating. I love the grinding, the going through and just one level after the other. It goes back to old school video games. But I would prefer, I would like an expansion or something where they do give us an open world. It could still be story-driven, one line, not going out and exploring, but just have it more with what they gave me. I'm greedy, and I want more. I saw the potential, I saw what they had, and what they gave us was fabulous, but it just made me wish there was more to it.
There was more, yeah. I mean, it was great to fight a beholder. It was great to fight icing death. It was amazing to fight, a frost giant. Because again, you think these frost giants, you see it on paper, you see a top-down view, you think they're just gonna wield their mighty axe or sword or club or whatever they have used, or they throw a boulder at you, and you're like, what's so scary about that? Till you actually face one face to face. And I love the fact they grabbed their axe, dropped it on the ground, just kind of ran it towards you, grinding it. So you couldn't get between their legs and such.
And having to dodge and twirl and get out of the way.
The game. And I love the fact that they weren't pretentious with it, like made out to be something it wasn't. It was meant to be, hey, grind, get loot, go have fun. I found it was a perfect dad game or mom game. It was a great parent game. I don't have time to immerse myself in. I don't have time to just dump tons of hours into it. I just want something that I can see the beauty, I can enjoy the storyline, I can go research it on my own when I'm on the crapper, or, my kids are asleep, I got like 20 minutes, I can read about Icewind Dale. It piqued that interest for me. But I know a lot of people dogged it, saying that it wasn't enough. I think it was plenty. I think there's more than enough stuff out there. This doesn't have to be the best in depth. So.
And like I said, you're right. It was great for what it was, and they gave us a lot, and they did a great job with it. And I don't know, I can't speak for all the other people who said that it wasn't enough. But like I said, with what they gave us, you see the potential, and you're like, oh my God, what can you give us? And that's what I want. But you're absolutely right. Having a game that I can sit down for 20 minutes. I mean, I'm the type of person, I come home from work, I sit down in front of my video game, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this for 20 minutes, and then I have to go and eat dinner, take a shower, get ready for bed. I start playing. It's midnight. I haven't even started cooking dinner.
Right.
So having a game that is just easy to pick up, easy to put down, enjoyable, so that I want to come back, but not going to drain my life away from me, is fantastic.
Yeah, now you live in an area where you actually have real winters. You can't go outside and frolic in the tulips anymore, so you got to find something, right?
Oh, it's totally immersive gaming. You go outside with the Switch, or set up a video game in the backyard in the snow, and you're in Icewind Dale. You can feel the cold.
So let's keep this going with that genre of old school. Let's talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, I know this game came out, I think, in 2020, or maybe it was beginning of 2021, but I recently just picked it up, right? And I played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, and it got boring for me because it just got repetitive. It was the same thing over and over again, and just even my wife, who's not a gamer whatsoever, she's a person who just has no imagination. She's the hypotheticals are wasted on her. All this stuff is wasted on her. She'd watch me play Assassin's Creed and go, how many bales of hay can you jump into? How does a bale of hay keep you from dying when you jump off the top of a cathedral? This is just absurd, right? And then do the guards know not to just poke it, like, look in the hay? I mean, there's got to be people's feet sticking out of it when you kill them and you drag them in the hay and stuff. Like, you would think after the first person saw you in hay, they go, hey, stab the hay bales, or there's a new law, no hay bales. There, game's over. So, I was really reluctant to pick up Valhalla. I got it at clearance price, and because I work for a local grocery store that was getting rid of the game, so I got it for like $10, $15. And I have to say, it's amazing. It's not the Assassin's Creed I was used to. It has some Assassin's Creed-esque items in there, but I love the fact that Assassin's Creed now is paving its way for its own world RPG storyline. It's not following anybody else. It's not a one-shot. It's paving the way for its own open world RPG, which is great. And I love the fact the game allows me to approach it at a shallow level, but also approach it at a in-depth level. When I have more time to go really in-depth in it, it'll let me do that, but also let me stay at a shallow level, which is really nice.
Well, I believe, like you say, Assassin's Creed was starting to go downhill. And I believe that the game creators recognized that, and they saw that people weren't as excited anymore. And they turned it around when they brought out, I forget the name of that series, but
Was
the
it Black
boats, the
Flag?
pirates. Black Flag.
Yep.
When they brought out the Black Flag, and then you got to fight on pirate ships and go out there, and it just became more immersive. And great for them for realizing that they were struggling. Or maybe not even struggling, but they got into a rut, and people were like, okay.
Italy. That was a big thing. You're no longer in Italy anymore, or Rome, or wherever, yeah.
They expanded, and they knew that they had to expand, and they're really stepping up their game, and I think it's awesome.
No, the next game I want to talk about is, I forgot, is I do have an RPG.
Ooh.
So I love old school RPGs. I love the old turn-based, and which we'll talk about later on. But I found a game called Shadow of Adam. So I've been going on to limited run games and super rare games because they make physical copies for the Switch. And one day I'll showcase my room and I'll showcase my game collection. But I love physical copies for consoles. I don't really buy digital for consoles. And the fact that Shadow of Adam is a digital release, I do believe in 2019 or 2020, I love the fact that I found the physical copy of it. And I've been playing Shadow of Adam. And that's an old school RPG that's a fantastic love letter to games that create a nostalgic love for me and stuff like that. And I love the pixel art on it. And I've got gameplay footage I'm going to do in a review video. And I truly think this game is great. And I love a lot of aspects of it. Again, it seems really in-depth. It seems like a lot. I haven't beaten it yet, but I have been loving it. And it's almost kind of like Final Fantasy II or Final Fantasy III, where it's got that art-esque style of pixel and turn-based. I don't know if you've heard of it, DeHoffrin, or you've... No?
Nope.
I definitely recommend it. It's going to be one of the video games. I'm going to do a review on these games, too. So, don't you wait, or wait and see what I'm going to do. Or, yes, wait and see what I'm going to do. Yes, don't wait. I'll get there.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, as I say, don't hold your breath. Don't.
Oh, you be quiet. I'm getting better. The next kind of games I love playing are beat-em-ups. I love beat-em-ups. Brawlers, beat-em-ups, Smash Brothers. I'm not good at Smash Brothers. I'm getting there. I just unlocked Little Mac the other day, so I'm super excited about that. And I can play it. So I have friends who have the game online. We can play it, and I can see how good I am at Little Mac against them. But one of my physical copy was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I was super stoked about this game. I was like talking about it for months. How I got the special edition, big box, all this great stuff. I'm waiting for months, blah 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 about it, right? And waiting for the soundtrack, and bleh. The box is cool, which I'll show it probably here or whatever. Everything was cool about it, but the soundtrack was just the digital audio from the game, from the levels. I didn't give a shit about that. I wanted to hear the songs from the movie. It was on my part. I probably should have read the review or read more about it. Maybe I missed it in the descriptor, but it was a real hard game at first to fall in love with. It was a beat 'em up, but had RPG-esque things with it. Like, you leveled up, you gained, you unlocked moves with levels and such. But the game was so hard at first, like almost unfairly hard. You had this situation where friendly fire is on, but not just friendly fire. Like, I run up and let's say I'm punching, and I hit my buddy on accident. No, like, you take a ball and you throw it, and it bounces off the screen because the screen stops here and then it goes this way, and then it hits your buddy. It does damage to him. That was really annoying. And then you have a person who doesn't progress like you do. Like, I'm trying to teach my kids how to play. They don't progress the same as I do. So I'm sitting there just running on this edge of the screen while they're over here looking at this over here. And I'm like, come on, move this way. Come on. It took a while for me to fall in love with it, but I did fall in love with it. Now I'm actually going through and I'm actually leveling up characters. Because you have to actually, once you level up, that's not good enough. You don't gain more stat points, just hit points. You actually have to go buy items to increase your damage and taking ability. So that was actually a fun thing. It has a lot of replayability. At first it was like, oh god, I'm not gonna be able to play this. Because there's no online play, there's no co-op where DeHoffrin can jump in and play, like Streets of Rage 4 does. But it does have a couch co-op, which is good and bad at the same time, especially with where we're at right now with the pandemic and such.
Well, I'm glad you're liking again, because you were so defeated when you first got it. Again, I got to hear all about how excited and, oh, this is coming and I can't wait. Right. And then it came, and then...
Well, I'm sorry I offended you with my friendship. I didn't mean to do that.
You did not offend. It was hilarious.
The last game I want to talk about is another beat 'em up that was kind of out of nowhere, in my opinion, but a game called Battle Axe. It is just an old school, gauntlet-looking pixel art, beautiful, hard, unrelenting game of just going around killing goblins with a great digital sound, great digital look, and immersive controls. Love it, but holy shit is it hard. I love just going on there. Like, if I only have 5 minutes to play, barely enough time for my seat to get warm, I go on there, kill goblins, kill these things, blow up an airship, and go home. And go do something else. It's great. Love it. I'll do a video on that one too. I feel like I've talked a lot. Now, DeHoffrin, what games did you play this year?
Well, I'll talk about the games that I wanted to play and that I want to get back into. I already touched on Sword and Shield Pokemon. Yeah. I love the Pokemon series. I'm always sad when you beat the final Pokemon and the story ends, and it's like, okay, now what? It's great that you can still go around and catch Pokemon and complete your decks, but there's just really nothing else to do. Battle and other trainers and stuff, it becomes just another fighting game, which is okay, but I still feel the wanderlust of the story and traveling through the land. So when Sword and Shield came out and it was this open world, and then on top of that, you get to get the expansions, and it's like they're creating more and more to this world. I am very sad that I'm very late to the party and I haven't gotten it yet. And I'm going to go this year and finally get the expansion. And here's hoping that they do more expansions, because I want a world that I could keep going back to and not having to start over from fresh and rebuilding. Don't get me wrong, I will still do all the other new Pokemon games that come out and play those. But the idea of having this one place that I can keep going back to is really exciting. I won't bore everybody with about Pokemon Sword and Shield because either you're a Pokemon lover or fan and have already played it, or you're never going to pick it up, so we don't really need to go into it because you either know it or you don't.
Let me say Pokemon.
Pokemon. Man chop.
Machop.
Another game that I was playing that was a huge letdown was Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
I loved Breath of the Wild. I was so happy when it came out. And then I heard that Hyrule was coming out. It was going to be a prequel. And I was just so excited. And I get that it's this other game, and it's already got its own fan base, and people actually like playing it. Don't get me wrong. I understand all that. But that's not the type of game that I've always been into and excited about. I only got it because it was the prequel. And trying to play through it, I think I did like a day's worth of game. And then I was just like, all right, I'm done. The story just seemed, because it's so sandboxed and going one way, it just felt like the story is going very, very slow. And that's what I was in for it for, was the story of, okay, we know the calamity happened and we saw the devastation, and I want to see and learn about what happened and what built up to it. And it's just like every single Marvel movie, when we introduce the character for the first time, the first half of the movie is slowly building up the backstory. And like, I just want to get into the action.
Unless you're was it Captain America, then that whole movie just was slow as sin. Yeah.
And so was Doctor Strange. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Doctor Strange, I love that movie. But getting him to the part where he needs to become Doctor Strange was just like, all right, can't we just take one or two of these scenes out, cut it down?
Well, I mean, we're fans. We know the story. We're like, yes, we get it. Blah blah blah. Get to the part where he's casting magic. I don't give a shit.
How many times do we have to see Batman's parents die?
Yeah, I don't care that he's the richest person in the world for being a heart surgeon, an eye surgeon, a brain surgeon. Just get to the part where he's casting magic.
So yeah. So that was a letdown. My other game, again, was Dark Alliance. That was a game that I was really excited about when it came out. Again, we've already talked about how awesome it is. It's just, it's more fun to play when you can get people online and play as a group. And
that would be fun if friends got on.
I've had technical difficulties. Me and Chaz tried like 3 or 4 times, and every time I could not figure out how to get it to work. And then moving across country did not help either. But I've got internet back.
Yay!
So here's hoping that we could do more Dark Alliance and Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
Oh man, I'm gonna destroy you at Mario Kart.
Oh, I'm a badass at Mario Kart and Mario Party. Ooh, we got to do Mario Party.
All right, Mario Party. I gotta put that on my list to buy. Switch. You're watching Nintendo. I know this is like when you're. What is it? Your guilty pleasures to look at our podcast. Reduce the price of your game, for God's sake. This is getting expensive to be a Nintendo fan. God, man.
It really is. Oh my God, I wanted to play the Unnamed Goose game.
Oh, no.
For so long. It looks amazing, but I just could not pay for that price.
The only thing you're not making more of is time, okay? And that's the only thing I say every day now is, God, I wish there's more hours in the day. I am not going to waste my precious moments on a game about being a goose. Who gives
it goes around fucking other people. Just amazing.
Fuck that noise. Don't give a damn about geese, whatever. Is that it, Dark Alliance?
That's it, Dark Alliance.
All right, let's talk about. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about some upcoming games. Now, 2022. There's a ton of games that come out that, you know, DeHoffer and I probably don't give a shit about. Like, I assume they're coming out Apex Legends, blah blah blah. Next Call of Duty, blah blah blah. Some sports game dealing with some sports this and some ball that goes down someone's giant yard. Don't give 2 shits. All right. Now, here are the games that I do give shits about that I'm excited about. Let's talk about Bethesda's game, Starfield. Now, Starfield was announced, back in 2018, but they have a leaked tentative date of November 2022, where it looks like you're going to be a space RPG first player. So, I can link the video into our description. But man, you talk about a game that's got me hooked. They got me on that one. That was a interesting game. There's not much talk about it. There's not much known about it. But we do now know that it looks like November 2022, this game will be coming out. The next game I want to talk about is Elden Ring, which is going to be coming sometime in February, if I'm not mistaken. February 25th, 2022 is, I think, the last I saw. This looks like a great action RPG that is going to have, I think, a really deep storyline, hopefully, and it's going to be visually stunning. I don't want to go into detail of the actual storyline and stuff like that. Again, I'll link the videos down in our description. It's coming from a company called From Software. That's what it's actually called. I looked up. I was like, wait, are they like punking me or what? Looks really cool to me. Then to these last two games, I'm gonna talk about one that's gonna be me talking, and then the next one I'm gonna talk about is definitely gonna get DeHoffrin going. So we'll do the second one last, and then the first one will be Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now, I love XCOM. I love strategy. I love games like that. So I'll be playing games like that, or strategy turn-based games. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. So when I saw that I could do the same thing with Marvel Suns, that's going to be sometime in 2022. I think summertime probably will be 2022. It looks like this game, they have a gameplay trailer out. Looks like it's right up my alley. I want to make my little X-Men go to these little blocks here and hit them with this and do this, and here's the percentage of damage and potential. So call me excited about that one. And Breath of the Wild 2. We know it's coming in next year. We don't know exactly when in next year, but Breath of the Wild 2. Hopefully the game doesn't fall into 2023, but 2022 they say it's going to happen.
The way things are going, the way things is going, it'll probably be next year, because I've been waiting for some games last year that were supposed to come out last year that have been pushed back to later this year. But I just want to say Breath of the Wild 2, there's nothing they can do that'll be wrong. They can do it very similar, no real difference from the first one. You get one pass, Zelda creators, Nintendo, at having a stagnant storyline that is not much different than the first one, because the first one was so good and so beautiful. Being able to go back to that world is going to be good enough. Now, when you do Breath of the Wild 3, which we know will come, you got to put in the effort.
If you're watching Breath of the Wild people, Zelda people, when I get the Hyrule shield, that bitch can't break. Alright? Put in a quest to go get it repaired. Go get a quest to go find some magic eyeball of some Bobkin that only appears 10 minutes after a red moon and lives on a fucking mountaintop or whatever. You do that. But I'm sorry. When I have the Hyrule shield, it doesn't break.
Doesn't it come back after it breaks?
No, it
only breaks for...
It's gone.
Yeah, but... Because the sword breaks too, but once it breaks, it comes back. It's like a downtime.
That's still bullshit. It shouldn't break.
The first time I threw my sword after getting it, going through that long-ass quest, walking very slowly through the fog to get my sword, I get out of the fog, and the first thing I do is haul that sword. I shit my pants. And luckily it just came right back.
The fucking master sword, right? Apparently to Hoffman.
It was an accident.
I don't know it was an accident.
My two games that I'm excited about coming out should have been last year. And now it's not coming out till December of this year. We just left December, so a whole year. Vampire Bloodlines 2.
Oh, man.
Now, I've played Vampire the Masquerade maybe once or twice. It is more of my husband's bag than it is mine, yo. But it's fun. Masquerade Vampire is very much a role-playing RPG. There's no go in, dungeon dive, and mash them, beat them up. It is very much lies, deception, manipulation, and playing out your characters. And with Dark Alliance, the potential is there for a really great game. So knowing what they've already done with RPGs, turning them into video games, with the original Vampire Bloodlines that came out years and years ago, there is a lot of potential coming out with this game. And then the other one is, again, Vampire the Masquerade, but it's a swan song. I'm pulling wow, brain fart on 2 levels.
That's all right. As long as I don't bring shit.
Draconis. I'm pulling a Draconis in the fact that, oh my god, this is awesome, but I know nothing about it.
Look, we've been doing this for a long time now. Some might say 6 months to a year. Some might say less. We're used to you two not coming with your pencils in the classroom, your fucking backpack still at home. My dog ate my homework. Just go with it.
But yeah, so I know nothing about it. I just found out that it was coming out. Like, oh my god, shut up, take my money. But it's for the Switch, and so more games for the Nintendo Switch that are coming out that are super awesome. I'm just glad Nintendo Switch is no longer just a kid's gaming platform. Don't get me wrong, I love Super Mario Brothers, I love Smash Brothers and all that stuff, but it was very much cookie cutter to just eat for everybody. And coming out with expansions of all these other things where I can play everything I want to on the Switch is awesome.
So, I mean, you're right. My wife and I are watching the documentary Power On, right? Which I put on our Discord trailer, so Doffer will never know that it existed because he doesn't get on our Discord anymore.
But if you want to get on our Discord and watch it, the link will be provided right here.
Per QR code. No, but honestly, it's... watching the video Power On, it's really interesting to see kind of the story of Xbox, and she was asking me questions about the consoles back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's funny, my wife and I have been together since middle school. She didn't know that I actually owned a PlayStation 2 at one point. Like, I don't have it anymore because I was stupid and I got rid of it, but one of my favorite RPGs of all time, one of them, not the, but one of them, is Final Fantasy Tactics. And the only way to play Final Fantasy Tactics is if you had a PlayStation 1. And I thought it was stupid to have a PlayStation 1 and not only play PlayStation 1 games. So I bought a PS2. But it's really interesting to see, like, she was asking questions about that. And I said, the only thing I really regret doing back in the day was I discredited Nintendo. I didn't think Nintendo had games I wanted to play. Lo and behold, I was wrong. Because I have a ton of DS games now that I have to pay through the frickin' nose to get. Because all my best RPGs are on the damn Nintendo DS and the 3DS. So I really pissed off myself that I was late to the game of the Nintendo Switch. I was late to the game of the Nintendo DS. I was late to the game. So I told myself, no longer am I going to do that. I'm going to be on time. Or early. So it's really interesting to kind of see that, like, Nintendo was perceived as a kid's gaming system, but it actually is not. So yeah, I loved it, you know. Oh, sorry. I love the fact that Nintendo is making games like that. Now they're get better at telling us about it, or I'm better at hearing it, whatever it might be. So yeah, keep it up, whoever's doing good on that. So
right, my biggest pet peeve with the last year. Are you ready for this?
Yep, let's go.
Shipping. So I'm sure we've talked about this before, and I'm sure all of our listeners know my struggle. I got in trouble with my husband because I bought the Yachting Portal playset for over $400. In my defense, it was a pre-order, and normally whenever I do a pre-order, I don't get charged for it until the box actually ships. So I thought I had 6 months to save up $400, and then surprise, here it is. But hey, I didn't really spend that much money on it because I was saving. Lo and behold, they pulled out all of the money right then and there, and my husband asked, or we needed something. Fix a refrigerator, fix something in the house. And he's like, all right, we need money. How much money do you have? I have none. You have no money? And I had to sheepishly explain to him my mistake. And then I got my credit cards taken away from me and put on a budget. And after all of that, the stupid release date kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back to the point of I moved to another state and still hadn't received my game that should have been there 6 months ago, and having to try to figure out how to get them to ship it back there is a struggle of my life. But
he got it.
I got it, and I got the table sets and the bar sets and the extra player sets, who I know nothing about except for
Yay!
Except for the only person I know in the extended players group is Volo.
You know Durin.
Durin, he comes with a set, and yes, we all know Durin.
Yeah.
But he wasn't part of he wasn't part of the extra people of the
Yeah, he comes in the box, right?
Yeah. But I'll save that for later because I will do an unboxing and I'll talk about them later.
Will.
But just finally for Christmas, I got it. But this whole pandemic, shipping and not letting stuff come in through was my biggest struggle in life. But on top of that, not only did I get that, I've got another unboxing to do.
We've got some unboxing videos coming your way.
So that's what I got going on for me this year is more unboxing videos.
Yay!
More how-to videos.
Yay!
D&D on a dime. Who needs money when you got time?
Trademark. So, we talked about gaming. Talked about video games. DeHoffrin, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Strixhaven.
Strixhaven? What is Strixhaven? I don't know.
Strixhaven is another D&D and Magic the Gathering crossover. We've already had the first D&D Magic the Gathering crossover with Ravnica. Wow, that was horrible.
Ravenloft's amazing.
And then it was horrible that I got the words mixed up. And then we also got the crossover into actual Magic the Gathering when they did the Magic the Gathering D&D playing set. And I am like 5 cards away from completing my base set. Cards are beautiful. I'll have to do another video on that. I'm sure there's many videos, but you won't be able to see a video with my excited happiness talking about the wonderfulness of the cards.
Why not?
But Strixhaven, oh my God.
Just moves on. Just glosses over it.
So much content, so little time. This is what I'm glad D&D is going back to. I don't want them to go one way or the other. I want them to keep spreading off in both directions. We've got the people that love their dungeon dives, hit up and beat 'em up games. But we also have people. I have one friend who only wants to play games that are not solely but heavy on the role-playing aspect. The talking, the interacting with the NPCs, figuring ways out of situations without having to just beat the guy up and kill him. And this is what Strixhaven has got for us. We are going back to college, people.
Going back to college.
Going back to college. And so this takes place on a campus, and within the campus there are 5 subsects. And when you read into the classes, you're going to notice that they're all geared towards certain colors, like Magic the Gathering. Red, black, white, green, and blue. Magic sources.
Yeah.
But while in college, while learning about your magic skills, and they emphasize that you don't just go to college in a magic college for magic, but they use their magic skills to teach. So you can go as a barbarian and learn about fighting, but the professors are using their magic knowledge to enhance the class learning experience. There's history classes, and they use, like, necromancers are the professors, and they bring back the dead to talk about their experiences in that historical time. But not only are we going back to class, not only are we learning, but you have after-school curriculums and jobs that you can pick up. There are places on campus. Oh, I have to pull this up real quick because I was trying to talk to Chaz about this before we started. He was like, yeah, I started reading up because I knew you wanted to talk about this. And I said, oh my God, did you read about the Archway Commons? And he's like, no, I was just reading about the classes.
Yeah, I'm reading about the classes. I'm sitting there thinking, what's talking about classes? I thought this book was a like an Unearthed Arcana. Just, hey, here's some more campaign setting, right? Here's more classes, background, so on and so forth. And I'm reading about like the Mage of Lorehold and how nerdy it is. Like, hey, you made the wizard even more nerdy. Good for you, and blah blah blah. And I'm talking to Hopper, and he's like, no, it's a module. I'm like, mother trucker.
So it's like a true campus. You've got the cafe place where kids go to study and drink their coffee. You've got the tavern and all these other places. But one of the places you get to go to is the Archway Commons. Just south of the library is a Star Arch park that similar echoes to Donbo. Archway Commons makes the site more familiarly called the Commons. The park is a favorite spot for students, especially first years, to gather in fair weather or wander through on dates. Some of the university's clubs also use the park to host social gatherings and games, including live-action role-playing games.
D&D within D&D.
D&D within D&D. I read that, and I just started laughing. It's getting so meta. And I'm just trying to picture my group of friends sitting there pretending that they're in a park, pretending to be characters, pretending to be other characters.
Look.
Stabbing each other with foam swords.
Our D&D group, it is so funny to watch them. Like, you would think they're either combat ready or they're roleplay ready, but never both, right? Our group doesn't seem to be ready for either. Like, I feel like we're not heavy combat because the people who are heavy combat, like, there's one or two of us that exclude this rule, but majority of the groups I play in, it's neither. It's like, okay, time to do combat. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do on my turn. Okay, time to roleplay. I don't know how to talk in a voice. Okay, what are you doing then? It's funny, like, and then they go, let's put D&D in D&D. Oh, good God. As a DM, these are my eyes. Watch them roll.
Hold on, my character needs to pull out his character sheet.
Nope, I'm done. I'm out. Nope, too far. I don't care who Kevin Bacon worked with. I don't care. Moving on. My
character's arguing with your character's DM about the rules for this.
Nope, we're done. I'm out. I don't know. That's for groups of people who are things are ready for a critical role. Nope.
But I find hilarity in. I also find it interesting that they want us to not want us, but you have the option of getting an after school job and join clubs.
The local pie shop.
Yeah. And all those contribute to the game. Like, while in school, you need money to buy your potions, your whatever it is. And being in these clubs, depending on the type of club you're in, will give you advantages to certain roles. Like if you're in the climbing club, you get dexterity checks.
All right.
You're in the acting club, you get persuasion checks. It makes sense. But also, there's the deans and the teachers. So as a DM, you're putting your characters in these situations where eventually they're going to have to break the rules. But you also have these people that can get them expelled. So it's very much you can't go around and beat up everybody because then your character gets kicked out of school. Are you going to go into the library after hours, and how are you not going to get caught?
I feel like this was made for people who really enjoyed that movie in the 80s. Oh, what was it called? I don't know. Every 80s teen movie. I was going to think, is it Breakfast Club? No, it's Sweet what is that? Pretty in Pink?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds.
We're going to be on secret probation.
Breakfast Club. That's Animal House Secret Probation, yeah. God bless. For y'all don't know, DeHoffer never left the 90s and 80s. We are still perpetually... Like, if he could play a game based off of, what is it? Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I would love it if there was a D&D Breakfast Club miniature set that he gets to unbox just to hear his husband's comments of, oh, good God, how much that cost us. Why do we have that? What is going on there? Like, I love the comments in your Drit statue. Well, it's one of my favorite ones of him, was talking about the My Little Pony. Like, oh, we have 2 sets of the My Little Pony D&D set, but Drit's the iconic character from D&D. We only have 1 of that guy, but 2 of the My Little Ponies. And you see DeHoffer just literally not care anything about what his husband says. Doesn't give a crap. All he heard was, I have permission to buy 2 of everything now.
That's what I heard.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well, I think that's a good stopping point. I think we've discussed everything we're going to talk about today. Everyone knows about Strixhaven and how magic. You see a preview of some unboxing videos to come. I can't wait to see him actually try to build the Yawning Portal. We talked about what games we like to play in 2021. What games we're hoping to collect dust on our shelves or take up hard drive space in our Steam accounts for 2022. Thank you for everything y'all do for us. Let's let DeHoffer... Oh, wait. DeHoffer's goodbye is going to change a little bit. Does everyone know what happened on December 18th, 2021? Netflix officially canceled Julie and the Phantoms.
Why, people? I asked you all for help. We could write a petition.
We no longer have to hear about Julie and the Phantoms, the most absurd concept of a ghost band.
That is a great concept.
Is not, no, and you're talking to a guy who's got giant Turtles poster above his head, and a big green guy that was signed by his creator, and all this other stuff, and fantasy everywhere, but my God.
The best thing about Netflix is Netflix has brought back so many TV shows that have been canceled. Arrested Development was done, and Netflix brought it back.
And was that a good watch? Did you like the new Arrested Development? Was that quality resurrection?
Is anything ever really quality?
Well, it's kind of like the scene from Aladdin when he tells them, I can't bring someone back from the dead. You wouldn't like what you see. It's here.
But just because it's canceled doesn't mean it can't come back.
Oh.
And it can. So, people, watch Julie and the Phantoms. Write to Netflix. Let's get it out there. Just like we want it back in the 80s. I want my MTV. I want my Julie and the Phantoms.
So, we lost Betty White this year. 2021.
We did.
She could make it one more day, which is fine. Well, what would happen if Julie and the Phantoms got canceled, and let's say another celebrity passing happened in 2022?
Don't you ever joke about that. It is never going to happen.
She is forever.
Timeless. Forever. The only thing that can survive a nuclear holocaust are cockroaches and Cher.
But I mean, has she done anything of substance in the last couple of years?
Being Cher. just being Cher is of substance.
Is that just something you have to say?
I don't have to say it. You don't have to say facts. Whether you say them or not, they're true.
God, if this is if I always envision you meeting Cher is like a scene from Step Brothers when you get her signature on a katana, and it's like you cannot not get her signature. I only had on me was a katana, so signed it right here.
No, she's signing me on my body somewhere. I don't know where.
So let's say you meet her. Let's say you're in a mall or wherever you guys are at, and you bump into her, and you're like, I want you to sign because I'm getting a tattoo there. Where is that place going to be?
I'm thinking my ankle.
Your ankle?
My ankle.
Cher's signature is going your ankle.
As much as I would love for her to sign my ass, I am not going to be that crude to Cher and say, hey, can I pull my pants down?
You? Children watch this show. Do they?
Sorry,
don't watch the show, children. I'm thinking right on the heart. I'm thinking right above the heart because she's got that special place for you.
That's only reserved for my husband.
Okay, fine. How about the left atrium?
There you go.
All right. Then, let's say she signs your ankle. All right. Like, how fast to the tattoo shop are you going?
Straight there. Is it
going to be like an organ transplant ambulance? Woo, right down the road. You got a bubble wrap around it so no water actually gets on it to like smudge it or anything.
You don't understand it. This isn't my first rodeo.
Yeah.
I have Elvira signature tattooed on me when I met her. I got Felicia's Day signature tattooed on me.
Where's Elvira's tattoo? No. Oh, that's right. This is DeHoffrin's casual wear. I don't got a belt on either. I'm wearing elastic pants. I don't give a crap.
So I know how to get the signature and get to the tattoo before it smudges.
There you go. All right. Sorry to interrupt your goodbye. Go ahead and do your goodbye.
Julian Phantoms, bring it back. Write angry letters to Netflix saying I want my Julian Phantoms. Winks on Netflix. We want that too. And Cher, if you are watching, obviously I want my tattoo. I would love it if you slap me in the face. And I just want to spend a couple hours with you at your house because I would love to see your Bob Mackie collection in person.
I mean...
And try on some of your Cher hair.
Your Cher? Oh.
So, you know, Cher's hair, her real hair is Cher hair.
Wait. What do you mean like her real hair is Cher hair?
So her wigs of the long hair with the bangs, her wigs, that is also, if she takes those off, that is what her hair looks like underneath. The Cher hair is her hair.
What would you do if she pulled the wig off and there was nothing there? Like she was
commend her for her bravery and genius. Oh my God, you could pull off that look like it's flawless.
So so Cher could do no wrong. Like if Cher came out one day and said, "Guys, I feel like Hitler did a good job. I feel like Hitler had something going there. Mussolini and him, they had their finger on the pulse." Would you just immediately shave off all your mustaches, leave that one part right there? I guess Cher had to.
Cher would never say that. She's perfect.
We spend a good chunk of our life in fantasy world, so you can't sit here and tell me like there's no hypothetical you can't think of.
No, I know Cher's perfect, and we could go on a long tangent about all this stuff. But for what I know and what I can prove is she's got Twitter. Anything she says right now could be dropped in the news like that. All of these celebrities that have gotten in trouble for things they've said 10 to 20 years ago and are now getting canceled for stuff they've said has not been touched on Cher. So if nothing has come out about Cher by now, there is nothing in her closet besides Bob Mackie and wigs and fabulous heels.
Okay, so to our 30-something viewers, 40-something viewers, I want you to share this. You are now obligated. I am DeHoffrin's DM. I DM his games. He has to play D&D with me. If you comment down below, I will make Cher a main bad guy in one of our campaigns. And we will film the final battle where they have to kill Cher. Kill her, otherwise she does genocide. And we'll see what the Hoffren does.
I'll play my Cher character.
And I'll take all the comments you guys can give me, and I'll put that in D&D. We're going to test your loyalty, sir. I'm going to make a TikTok of this shit. And with my 5 followers on Bloody Colt's TikTok, oh, here we go. What is it? If I had a glove, I'd take the glove off and throw it on the ground.
Game on.
Yeah.
Game on, bitches.
All right. Well, I'm going to say my goodbyes because my goodbyes are always simple. Thank you for watching and all your support for the channel. Love you. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.